I think we're getting there. Let's just see.
Well, it says we're live.
It says we're live. That's a good sign. Right, I think we are now live. I'm just going to see if I can share it.
Yeah, me too.
It's one of the things you're doing. I don't know where I'll share it to, but I'm going to go big. I'm going to share it into the ISOFest.
It's a good idea.
I'm not quite sure this new term I've coined ISOFester. It's sort of good and also a bit odd at the same time.
I like it.
Oh, he likes it. Oh, he does.
I do like it.
All right, turn that volume down. Okay, I'll give Rick a countdown then, because Rick will be listening to this, wondering when he should be recording. So, Rick, on 3, 2, 1. Okay, and cut from here. Okay, welcome everybody. This is the third of the now Tom and John's Acoustchats. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Evening, everyone.
And I've got John here with me. How you doing, John?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, not too bad. I was getting ready for tonight, and I haven't been out for so long that as I was getting ready, I had a shower, and I thought I'm going to put some aftershave on. And I'm not even seeing anyone. I only ever put aftershave on when I'm going out to meet people. And I thought, well, I'm sort of meeting you guys, so I'm gonna smell for the occasion. So I slapped a bit of perfume on for you boys.
Good on you. I thought I could smell something from next door. I wondered what it was. But that's good. No, that's lovely, mate. You should make an effort. You know what I mean? I've brushed my beard.
Yes, mate.
And done something with my hair to make it look less like a rat's nest.
Nice. It's weird what people will do in a sort of virtual environment, isn't it? Like, I remember my mate Gavin telling me that he was playing Championship Manager once, and he got to like the FA Cup final in the game, and he paused the game and put a suit on, so that he could.
The FA Cup final, was it?
Yeah, because it's the FA Cup final, so he got suited and booted, and did the FA Cup final in his bedroom in his suit. Yeah,
I love it. Nice.
I love
it.
How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the fact that today I've not had to chase any rabbits from my garden.
Guys, honestly,
out of your garden into my garden and look after them. It's been a bit of a source of stress. That we've given them this beautiful back garden experience they can enjoy, and they just keep wanting to get into yours. So,
to be honest, for people that don't know Tom's sort of living the country dream here. Because when I look into Tom's garden, there's just rabbits and cats and all sorts just running around everywhere. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
But the rabbits have basically they've just eaten so much of Tom's lawn that there's nothing else to eat now, and so they've genuinely got a system of tunnels going between our two gardens, and they pop up in our garden and start eating our grass, which is amazing because it means I don't have to mow the lawn. But I'm just a bit worried about the neighbour's dog getting to them.
There's a price to pay as well. They do a lot of pooping. So,
okay.
That's the price that comes with it. But no, we've had to go a bit hardcore because of that. So we've Vicky's done all this sort of stuff. She's blocked off the fence, blocked off the shed, and then we've just sawn a hole in the front of my shed so that rabbits can go into that. But I think inadvertently I've made it less secure for them, so I'm not quite sure what that happened. But anyway, it's less stressful than not going into yours anyway. So that's been a lot of what I've been doing. We're joined by the legendary Steve Mercy. I'm going to say hi to Steve.
Good evening.
Hey, Steve.
How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, good. Have you considered that the rabbits might be attracted by the aftershave?
Oh no! But yeah, you're right.
Well, the thing is, though, they've been very much in the far corner of my garden since this evening. So I think that maybe it's the opposite. Maybe since the aftershave has gone on this evening, they've gone as far away as possible. So how are you doing, Steve? What have you been up to lately?
Oh, not a great deal. Been recording some odds and sods at home. KTCR have very kindly played a couple of tracks that are sort of finished to a demo sort of quality.
Oh, cool.
But just getting to learn the software really. While I'm because I'm furloughed at the moment, so just taking the opportunity to record stuff at home.
Nice.
And have you got like a target for like getting something out? You know, I mean, I've heard you mention like an album and stuff like that.
No target really, because there are no gigs booked. So
It's such
So,
a weird
Okay,
time,
time
isn't it?
Isofest.
yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, I miss playing and I miss seeing live audiences and just having that interaction with other people that are coming to watch you and play with you. It's just weird doing it on your own, and also it's frustrating that the internet can't cope at the moment with kind of band practice. Like, it would be so good if I could just get together with bandmates and that sort of thing and just jam online together. But like, there's just too much lag on the internet, isn't it? And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just means that music is just completely solitary at the moment.
We experimented that last week, didn't we, with Gav, to see if we could get some duetting via
Yeah,
Zoom.
it's
And
just
what was
impossible.
it? A whole. It was a whole beat out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the best part of a second, which just means trying to play music is impossible with other humans, which is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been reading a bit on your Facebook, mate, about the work you've been doing with Patricia Crane and her new album. That sounds like an amazing thing to be part of.
Oh yeah, superb.
Tell us a bit about what that was and how you came to be involved and what you were doing on it and stuff. And
Well,
how it
it's there's a band that I'm a fan of called the Eden House, and Louise is one of the singers in that band, and I'm friends with the guitarist. And a good friend of mine, Sally, who I was in a band with, is also a member of the Eden House. And Louise was doing her first solo album, and very kindly asked me if I'd contribute a couple of bass lines on 2 of the songs on the album, which obviously very humbled to be asked. And then she said, "Oh, by the way, Jacko from King Crimson and Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull are playing on it as well."
Wow.
Oh, what? So
was that pre-lockdown that happened, or did you?
yeah,
record that?
it was just before Christmas
Oh, right.
that I recorded my bits,
Nice.
and it came out 2 weeks ago.
It's been very well reviewed.
Yeah, and it's in Planet Rock magazine this week as well.
Yeah, I saw. Amazing.
But
My words. Oh. Because I saw your picture of how high it was posting in the charts and everything, and the independent chart and the rock chart, and it's an amazing result.
yeah, it was straight in at number 20 in the independent chart and number 8 in the rock chart.
Amazing.
So yeah, very well received. It's
an amazing thing to be part of.
Oh yeah, dream come true.
Nice.
So what's the crack with these flags then behind you, mate? What's the story there?
I usually put these up at back in the days when we could do gigs in pubs. This side is the Black Country flag because I'm Black Country born and bred. And then this side is Captain Blackbeard's flag because obviously Captain Blackbeard was born in Bristol. So once I moved down here, I added the Blackbeard flag to sort of honour where I am now and where I came from.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Nice, mate. Nicely done. All right. Well, nice. Well, I tell you what. This is a musical type of session and a chat session. Do you fancy giving us a bit of a song, mate?
Yeah. I was because I've done the 2 ISO fests now, and I did another live one for Jelly Records a couple of weeks back. I'm trying to do different songs each time, so I'm not continually playing the same things. So I'll give you a history lesson. This is when like mid-90s, I cut off all my hair and sold all the gear and gave up being in bands and said, "That's it, I'm done, not doing that again." And that lasted for about 2 years, and I ended up back in a band again. And so this was on an album, first album that I did with a band called Abigail's Mercy that I was the lead singer of in the Midlands. And I haven't done this for years. This happened by accident this afternoon. I thought, actually, I'll do that one. So this is Sky Begins to Cry. Sorrow and me are good friends. Pain has been like a brother to me. Heartaches begin but don't end. Meanwhile, time still slips away. Didn't mean to fall when I met you. Crept into my heart and I let you. Insecurity just another part of me. And I'm sewing up a cut that never heals with the threads of my existence. Dancing in the silver and gray of another moonlit night. Throwing salt into the wounds that never healed and slash at my resistance. Do I give up the ghost? Am I able to understand why? Then the dark cloud starts to fall. The rain begins to pour and the sky begins to cry. So quickly the eyes of a child of my own turn into the eyes of a child I don't know. Time is not the healer I've been led to believe. It causes a greater divide. It causes a hatred inside. It causes a pain you could never know. It leaves a scar that can never show. I'm sewing up a cut that never heals with the threads of my existence. Dancing in the silver and gray of another moonlit night. Throwing salt into the wounds that never heal and slash at my resistance. Do I give up the ghost? Am I able to understand why? Then the dark cloud starts to form. The rain begins to pour and the sky begins to cry. The sky begins to cry. Sorrow and me be friends. Pain has been like a brother to me. Heartaches begin but don't end. Meanwhile, time still slips away. I didn't mean to fall when I met you. Ripped into my heart and I let you in. Security is just another part of me. And I'm sewing up a cut that never heals with the threads of my existence. Dancing in the silver and gray of another moonlit night. Throwing salt into the wounds that never heal and slash at my resistance. Do I give up the ghost? Am I able to understand why? Then the dark cloud starts to form. The rain begins to pour. And the sky begins to cry.
Yes, mate.
Ooh, mate, lovely.
That was lovely. I just closed my eyes and I was just kicking back. Your vocal is so smoky and lush. I love it, mate. Absolutely
Cheers.
love it.
I'm trying to keep it quiet so the neighbour doesn't bang the wall.
No, it sounds
You
lovely.
were talking about the first Ice of Fest. You were talking about having a bit of fun, making sure you didn't wreck your neighbour's day and get like a nice bit of percussion in the background while you were playing. How easy is it if you?
Yeah,
I think there's so much emotion in all your songs. I must admit, like you really, do you know what I mean? You don't leave anything out there. I don't think. Like, how easy is it for you to write that? Do you know, does that emotion come out straight away, or does it like you do a first draft and think actually I've not really got out what I want there, and it starts to come the more you think about it?
Sorry, say my internet connection. Am I still there? Say my internet.
Yeah, no, you're still there, mate. Yeah, we can.
We can still hear you.
You can't hear us very well. Uh-oh. Could be losing him.
Sorry? Is it froze up?
That's better.
Still there?
Try
you're
now.
back.
You seem to be better now. You had a bit of a moment where we lost you, but you seem to be better now.
Right. Yeah, there are certain songs that sometimes it gets to you while you're playing them. Because I mean, a lot of my songs are about losses. You know, I've written a couple of songs about losing my dad. losing Johnny that I was in a band with in Keynsham, and Maria that I was in a band with in the Midlands. So sometimes it does get to you when you're performing some of them. But
do you find that after a loss like that, where you lose a mate or you lose a family member, that you struggle to sort of write afterwards?
That was the intention of writing them.
Just get it out there, sort of thing. Like cleanse it.
It's I find it cathartic thing.
Yeah, it is a cathartic process. I'm not a songwriter, but it is a very.
I do write happy tunes, but
You give us one of those, one or the other. I just think it's incredible. I think I struggle. I mean, I've not done much in the way of writing, but what I have done, I think sometimes I find it easier to be a bit of an idiot and write silly things, and the words sort of have come quite easily for that. But actually, then going, okay, this is how I feel, about a particular incident or a particular person, then it can be quite hard to do. Certainly, so fair play. Yeah. I think it's amazing that you get to do that.
I mean, I do write sort of tongue-in-cheek songs as well, but they're really not safe for me to play on something like this, believe me.
Okay, I like it. Well, we can always come with a warning, I guess, unless it's so bad that Facebook might even kick us off, I suppose.
That probably would, to be fair.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right, mate. Well, listen, I'll let you recover from that one, and I think I'm going to just do a quick tune.
Cool.
Yes, mate. What are you going to do?
So this is one. So last year I was on the old Keynsham Music Festival, and then I wanted to this year, and I wanted to go from doing the grounded stage. I wanted to do like one of the actual stages. So I applied to do that, and I was like thinking that I know my own abilities would be beneficial if I could get like a mate that could help me out. So there's a guy called Gareth who's a good mate of mine, Gareth Parker, and he'd actually agreed to sort of take part with me and be my sort of guitar and backing singer and singer on his own right, whatever. Like he's a really good musician, and this was one of the songs we were going to play, but obviously that's not happening because the event's actually been cancelled. So it's kind of like for him, it's also kind of like homage to the Bill and Ted, because they use it as a poem in one of their films, and obviously they got a new movie coming out, which is most excellent, obviously. So this is Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Nice.
I'm just going to pin it to me, just so I can fully see myself, which is always weird. We both lie silently still in the dead of night. Although we both lie close together, we feel miles apart inside. Was it something I said or something I did? Did my words not come out right? Though I tried not to hurt you, though I tried, but I guess that's why they say every rose has its thorn. Just like every night has its dawn. Just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Listen to our favorite song playing on the radio. I hear the DJ say love's a game of easy come and easy go. But I wonder, does he know? Has he ever felt like this? Oh, I know that you'd be here right now if I could have let you know somehow. I guess every rose has its thorn. Just like every night has its stone. Just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Though it's been a while now, I can still feel so much pain. Like a knife that cuts you and the wound heals, but the scar remains. Yeah. I know I could have saved our love that night if I'd known what to say. Instead of making love, we both made our separate ways. And now I hear you found somebody new, and that I never meant that much to you. To hear that tears me up inside, and I see you cuts me like a knife. I guess every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn. Just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn.
Lovely stuff, mate.
Thank you very much.
It has been
Do love
amazing,
that song.
Tom. Yes, a lovely song. And I don't know about Steve, but I just find it amazing that a year ago, had you played in public a year ago,
No.
Tom? I mean, that is extraordinary.
I remember the conversation.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
you,
isn't
you've
it?
well,
you
you've,
were
you've
there that fateful night.
say you've since written a song about that night, haven't you?
It's just mad, mate, that you've gone from not playing in public to playing on Facebook in front of the world.
The world.
Potentially. I mean, I know we've got a dozen people in Cambridge watching at the moment, but you know, potentially anyone could be watching this, and you know, your rise is stratospheric, mate.
It's been such a good year. And it just, you know, I think in so many ways, you know, just the opportunities and grabbing the opportunities, I must admit, and like just meeting you guys and the connections that you're a group of people that I've never sort of had the opportunity to kind of meet before, you know, like music community and that sort of stuff. And it's a lovely community, and different types of people, you know, all actually very, very similar of mind and goal. And I think, you know, to the fact that it's certainly a tribute to, you know, my enjoyment of my last couple of years in Keynsham, when I've really started to know more people, and the fact that so many of those people signed up in a heartbeat to be part of the ISOFest, you know, and that's a huge pleasure for me. So, right.
Yeah,
John,
you
is there any
certainly hit the
questions?
ground.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
You certainly hit the ground running.
Yeah, that's true.
To say that night in the beer garden of the ship. I remember us saying to you, you should do it. Yeah, go, you know, get on the grounded stage and do a set. And you were like, okay. Boom.
Yeah.
So,
That's
no,
it.
not stopped since. Fair play to you.
No,
Fair
Fair
play.
play.
It's been a lot
Absolutely.
of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
So yeah, I've got a few questions for Steve, if that's all right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Oh, so I mean, I was thinking you've been gigging for how many years?
Over 30.
Wow, okay. I was just wondering if you could kind of, for maybe younger people that are watching or listening on the radio in the next few weeks, talk to us about how you perceive the gig, the live sort of music scene has changed from when you first set out as a young musician to now as a cynical old man.
Charming.
Well, Bristol is very much like the Midlands used to be. There used to be loads of places in the Midlands to get gigs. And then he went down the route where everyone wanted, the only thing they wanted was tribute bands. So doing solo acoustic stuff, it was few and far between, and being in bands where we were doing original material.
Yeah.
You'd phone up to get gigs and it was like, oh, well, who do you do?
Wow.
We don't. We're an originals band. We're not interested in, mate. Sorry.
Wow.
And then I did a couple of. I came down here for a weekend. Just booked a couple of solo acoustic gigs, and absolutely loved it down here.
Okay.
And the music scene was he's so vibrant down here. The opportunity came up for a job, and in a heartbeat, yeah, definitely, because there's always somewhere to play.
Yeah, I mean there is, isn't there, around here? There is always somewhere to play. Or most nights of the week you can get a gig if you really wanted to. You must miss the Black Country.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sadly, a couple of my old haunts are no longer with us. There was a fantastic venue called JB's that was going for 40 odd years, and then that closed down. That was my second home.
Yeah.
That was like losing a limb when that place went.
It's crushing, isn't it? When that sort of thing happens, it just takes your breath away. Yeah. And Steve, in terms of like your experience, like when you reflect on your 30 years of gigging, like what's your, if you could pinpoint one highlight of you being on stage at a certain point, what would you say that was?
There are lots.
I'm sure.
I was playing probably about 10, 12 years ago. I was playing guitar for 66 Sputnik.
Nice.
At a punk festival in Blackpool, and we were headlining the second stage, and the Damned were headlining the main stage.
Nice.
And part way through the gig, I glanced across, and every member of the Damned was stood at the sides of the stage watching. I'm a huge Damned fan. It's like, oh,
amazing.
But there's been a lot of good things like that. I did a tour with a band called the Birthday Massacre a few years ago that I'm a fan of, and a lot of the gigs were sold out. So when you're in the support acts and you're going out into a venue where you've paid to watch bands and you're playing to a sold out crowd, that's
special, isn't it?
Quite the feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was it like playing with Zig Zig Sputnik? Because I mean, they've got quite the reputation. Like, how was it?
Well, it was called. I'm not sure. I think it was called Sputnik 2 at that point. There was an argument over who owned the name, because Zig Zig Sputnik were going out in one incarnation without the singer, and I was in the version with the singer, so it was called Sputnik 2 or Martin Degville's Zig Zig Sputnik, or it went through a lot of names. But I probably only did half a dozen gigs with them, but it was an experience.
I bet it was. Yeah, what an experience, though.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I've been very lucky, really, with the stuff I've sort of just dropped into. And supporting the Levelers as well. When I started doing the acoustic thing, went from being in a metal band to doing the acoustic stuff as well. I supported the Levelers, so that
is amazing.
That was something special.
In the cap.
Well.
Yeah, absolutely, isn't it?
In the cap.
Amazing.
I never really understood. I must admit, I used to look at sort of like a big promo of what was coming on, like at a festival or something. And I felt that, if the name's at the bottom, I think that must be quite frustrating or something. I didn't really. It's a silly thing to think of, but like it's just when you're not doing it, And then I can't remember what it was, but it was just like, oh yeah, that was it. It was that Friday. Oh no, there's two. Well, obviously there's supporting you, Steve, and then there's supporting Gav as well. Like this last kind of few months ago, and it's like the first name on the list, and then you kind of go, oh my god, that's if you go up that list, it's incredible. And then that's why I'm looking for the ISOFest version 3 because I can be like. Yeah, I'm supporting Grace Petrie. That's pretty, I'm on 10 hours before she'll be. It doesn't matter. I'm still technically supporting Grace
you're
Petrie.
on the bill, mate.
I'm on the bill.
Yeah.
With the fence post, whoever the hell that is. Well, that's enough of those. That's the easy questions. I'm going to come in with some really hard ones now. This is the famous, world famous now, either or round. Which I don't know if you're prepared for. You don't look like a man who's fully prepared. So this is some quick fire either or questions that you need to tell me the first thing that comes into your head. All right? Bristol, Birmingham City or Wolves?
Neither.
Oh, neither.
Oh,
Not a football fan. Queen or Motorhead?
Oh, come on.
And there's always one question.
Oh.
There's always one. With John, it was piano and trumpet. I can't remember what Gav's was. But there's only one question that makes you go, I can't do it. You got to choose, mate.
Motorhead.
Motorhead. Oh, there you go. Do you need a second? You're reeling from that, I can see.
Yeah.
Bass guitar or rhythm guitar?
Bass.
Cider or ale?
Ale.
Superman or Batman?
Batman.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Band or solo?
Depends on the artist. Oh.
I'm not going to ask you to specify. If I have to play with that bloke over there, I'm not. I hate him, so.
But I'd say band.
Band. Spicy or plain?
Sorry?
Spicy or plain, like is in your food. Like it's
Spicy.
Or plain. Car or motorbike?
Car.
I wasn't sure if you're a motorbike driver. Anyway. Small gig or big gig?
Big. Oh,
Big. The bigger the better. What's the biggest crowd you think you've played in front of?
a couple of thousand.
Lovely.
Actually, no, probably more. There's probably more than that at Cage Festival, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they're more spread out. It's probably Cajun then. Probably Cajun Festival.
Okay, big up Cajun Festival. Woo.
Yeah, too right.
Yeah. All right. I think you could do with a break.
Cajun Festival.
Nice.
Gonna miss you, but like they've coming ISOFest coming in on that same day, so it's gonna be some sort of as best a stand-in as we can hope to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Steve needs a break to have a drink, to be honest. And John, you're already preparing. You know what's coming.
Yes, mate.
John, you're gonna do a bit of a tunage.
Yes. So everyone knows that I don't really like singing on my own or playing on my own, but sort of Tom makes me do it for part of this. So this is this is a song by Whiskey Town called "Houses on the Hill." Now my piano is broken. Okay, we're good to go. I'm very sorry about the pause there. Sorry about that. Here we go. Well, I found a bunch of letters that were written for the fella who broke your mama's heart. And the envelope folds smelled of her ancient perfume. I bet she didn't know how to respond to all the blankets of snow. Caught him out of wandering along with no place to go. There were stars in the sky, and there were houses on the hill, and there were bottles of pills that were easy to buy to keep her warm from the oncoming storm. Well, I found them in the northwest corner of the attic in a box labeled tinsel and lights. Didn't know what I was looking for, maybe just a blanket or artifacts. Eisenhower sent him to war. He kept a picture in his pocket that was closest to his heart, and when he hit shore, must have been a target for the gunner man. There were stars in the sky, there were bunkers on the hill, and there were caskets to fill where he would lie, shrouded in the red, white, and blue with the stripes. There were stars in the sky, and there were houses on the hill, and there were bottles to fill that were easy to buy. Keep her warm from the oncoming storm.
Lovely, mate. Absolutely lovely.
Thank you.
Just going to unmute Steve if I can. Not let me. Might have to manually. There we go. He's. I was thinking actually, John, with all this, Tom's making me blarky. I think actually you got a chance to be putting the content together for your own album. Like a John's covers album.
I just don't enjoy it enough, mate. Honestly, I'm quite happy being in the background. I don't like being on my own. I like playing with other people. It's yeah, I find it unnerving and unsettling. It's not me.
I'm starting to
I
feel
do it
like
because I'm your mate.
that pushy. There's some sort of HR incident building. Can I just say, I don't make John do this stuff. Like I ask him if he wants to.
He does ask me.
I don't force him. I don't have that sort of power.
It's not workplace bullying. Let's put it that way.
Because you're not getting paid.
It's voluntary bullying.
It's voluntary bullying. Yeah, he signs up to every couple of weeks. You know, I let him. He gets my rabbits to mow his lawn. I get to bully him every couple of weeks on the Acoustchats. What's wrong with that? I think so. I could do it. I'm loving the music. I could do a bit more music. Steve, do you fancy giving us another one of yours, buddy?
Yeah. Well, I've still got the capo one, so I'll do the one for that I wrote for Maria.
Lovely, mate. Off you go.
There's a spot to my left. It's empty tonight. A spot to my left where she'd stand in the lights and she'd be like a dream, shine like the sun, smile like an angel with peace and with love in her heart. Love in her heart. She was too young to be taken away. Sat by her side and prayed that she'd stay. The song full of bone to bring light to this world. Only burns for a while, but the memory is forever. Forever beautiful. There's a space on the ground she'll never stand. A lonely guitar that won't be in her hand. There's a voice in my head saying this can't be real. There's a pain in my heart, oh, I'll always feel. There are words left unwritten, there are songs left unsung, there are years left unlived, and you know that it's wrong. But the gifts that she left in each of our hearts will mean that she'll never be gone. She'll be forever beautiful. Forever beautiful. Forever beautiful. Forever beautiful. There's a spot to my left. It's empty tonight. A spot to my left where she'd stand in the lights.
Oh, mate, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about Maria?
Yeah, she was her former boyfriend was the reason that I got back into a band again. We went to a mutual friend's wedding, and at the time I'd sold all my gear and I'd shaved my head and said, "That's it, I'm done with music." And I was talking to he was a guy that I've been all through school with, my friend Chris. We went to a wedding, and he walked up to me and slapped me in the face and said, "You're living a lie. Don't speak to me until you're being yourself, and you grow your hair back and you're in a band."
Wow.
And it was the shock of it, and you think, well, you can't really punch someone at a wedding. And then I went away and thought about it for a couple of days. I thought, he's actually right. So I got in touch with him, and we formed a band, and that's how I got back into it. And Maria was our guitarist. I'm going back 20 years or more now.
Wow.
And then Maria and I, years later, started doing acoustic gigs together.
Lovely. And
when I moved down here, we started doing gigs at the Ship.
Yeah.
And then Rick from KTCR and the music festival asked if him and his friend could join us for a couple of songs at the end of our set. Yeah, cool, we'll have a jam. And that ended up being a lock-in at the pub. And we played for about 3 hours.
Lovely.
And that was the with Rick on bass and Gianni on guitar. And then people were saying, we want to book the band. We're not actually a band, but and that's how the band The Shipmates was born. And then sadly Maria died a few years ago of cancer.
Oh mate, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it was me and Maria that ended up starting The Shipmates in Keynsham. Yeah. And the rest was history.
Yeah.
Wonderful story, mate. Absolutely, like a wonderful piece in time to be a part of, mate. Beautiful. And playing bass with Rick as well. Do you know what I mean? That's that must have been incredible. Yeah, and I don't know whether you ever met Gianni. Gianni was a superb guitarist.
Yeah, amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
I didn't come across him.
Had to look him up.
Yeah.
Okay, how we doing? We got about another 10 or so minutes. I think I might have another little sing, and then I've got a very important question for Steve. So I'll hold that one off. I'm gonna try something a bit weird here. I'm gonna do I'm a bit like you, Steve. I keep wanting to do new things, but I'm still quite new at all this, and I don't really have a very big list of new things to do. So I end up like picking something off and going, yeah, I could probably have a go at that, couldn't I? And then it was a bit weird. So I'm gonna give it a go at this. This is Fortune Faded by the Chili Peppers.
Yes, mate.
This saying just you gotta kill the queen and then you made it. Oh, why do you? Funny thing, the king who gets himself assassinated. Hey now, every time I lose, I did you. You took a town by storm, the mess you made was nominated. Lo, why do you now put away your welcome? Soon you'll find you've overstated. Well, hey now, every time I lose, I dare to. So divine, hell of an elevator, all the while my fortune faded. Never mind the consequences of a crime. This time my fortune faded. The medicated state of mind you find is overrated. Low, do you saw it all come down, and now it's time to imitate it. Well, hey now, every time I lose, I did you, yeah. So divine, hell of an elevator, all the while my fortune faded. Never mind the consequences of a crime. This time my fortune faded. Come on, God, do I seem bulletproof? Yeah. So divine, hell of an elevator all the while my fortune faded. Never mind the consequences of a crime. This time my fortune faded.
Cheers, mate.
Awesome. Is that a new guitar as well, Tom?
Say again, mate. Sorry.
Is that a new guitar as well?
No, but it's the one. It's the one I had. It's actually no. It's a few years old now, but it's not the one I play at my gigs normally because I've got an electric one, electric acoustic. That's the one. That's the one I bought when my daughter smashed the one I'd had since I was 15. It was this beautiful Washburn.
Tom, let's
It
not
was-
talk
it's just a
about
nice
that.
guitar,
Tom,
but it wasn't.
Tom will start crying. We got to stop this.
No,
Can't
well, it's
stop
one of those
this.
great stories, you know, like the whole like. So she it's my fault. It's like it's on one of those sort of stands on the ground, and she toppled it forward, and the neck broke, and I was all like boo-hoo, and then Vicky said, "Well, I'm just going to get yourself another one." And I was just like, "Huh? What? Oh, yeah, that's a really good idea." And then I fell in love with that one, and then about a year later, so I used that one then to do the Grounded gig. For the Cambridge Music Festival, and then 5 months later I was playing at Grounded for real, and I was like, love, I can't have like a proper electric acoustic. I gotta have a plug-in one. So I ended up getting two lovely guitars. Yeah.
You always need a spare.
Yeah,
You always need a spare. And you certainly have. You have spares aplenty. And that was my difficult question. This is a beautiful segue. How amazing is this? What is your favourite guitar and why?
I would have to say it's my beat up old. Bear with.
it is amazing,
I'm
isn't
loving
it?
this. I'm
How
loving
many?
this coming back, all the collection.
Yeah.
Come back to the beat up one.
It's again a nice segue from it's my beat up old one
Yeah.
with all the stickers on there.
Gosh, I love the stickered guitars.
Because
Amazing.
similar to your story with your daughter breaking the guitar, I had a guitar the same as that, which was at the top of the stairs, and my cat leaned against it, sort of walked behind it, and it slid down the stairs, and I thought it'll be okay, it'll stop when it gets to the bottom. The stairs went around a corner, and it hit the bottom, and the head stopped, snapped clean off. But at the time I bought that, I wasn't really playing in bands, so all the stuff I've done since, most of it was written on that guitar. So that guitar has helped me through a lot of dark and lonely nights, shall we say?
Yes.
It's weird, isn't it? How like your emotional attachment to instruments. Like there are some instruments that are, in terms of their specification, what they should be, like they're significantly just streets ahead of other instruments that I own. But I'll always come back to certain instruments, like the one that I've had since I was a kid, or that kind of thing. I'll pick up my old trumpet that I've had since I was a kid, and just I don't know. There's something just organic about picking up one of those instruments that you've had for so long. It just feels like it's a limb.
Yeah. I mean, it's by no means the best guitar, but
no, absolutely.
No, but it's your favourite. I love it.
Yeah.
I've had this. I sneak into music shops in town sometimes, and I'm like, I'm really interested in buying that £1,500 guitar. Could I just have a little play on it? And as much as it's fabulous to be like, oh, I'm holding this really expensive guitar, it doesn't feel. You know, it's not mine. I guess it's not my baby. Which these ones, certainly this one is. I think my other one's just my kind of performance one, but this is my slippers and
nice
chilling out, lovely one. Oh, okay. I've got one more question, and then I don't know if you have, John. Have you got any more?
Well, I just wanted to ask Steve one final little question, which is,
then you go with yours first, mate.
Okay. I'm a music teacher and teach sort of teenagers, and I was wondering, from someone like you with years of experience gigging and being a musician and that kind of thing, like what advice would you give to young singer-songwriters, guitarists, musicians? Like, what would be your top tips, your big advice for kids sort of looking to break into the music industry?
That's much better than my question, by the way.
I would say right from the heart.
Mm. Right
Don't-
about what you know.
Yeah, yeah. You get a more honest, heartfelt song writing about real things than. I mean, I'm not a fan of a lot of modern music. I think it's disposable garbage. But
But
a
isn't that,
lot of these people are worth millions, and I've never really made any money out of music. So I suppose the proof is in the pudding there.
but isn't the reason that we and I totally agree with you about a lot of modern music is rubbish, but isn't the reason we perceive it as rubbish is because we think those singers are not singing from the heart, or at least not writing from the heart, if writing at all, perhaps.
well, yeah.
And actually, your advice there about writing about what you know and writing about what you feel strongly about is probably the most sensible way of getting your music out there and getting people to listen to you, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you find that's got a lot to do with how you like to listen to it? So I certainly find this. I get really cross if I'm listening to music and I don't feel like the person's lived their experiences, or they're not singing from. There's a great Bill Hicks line where he gets really angry and he starts like, "Sing, you got to sing from your heart." And I get that. Like if I'm listening to somebody and I feel like I can see that you've experienced that, there's a real emotion there. Then you really transmit that emotion to me, as I can tell, and therefore, and you kind of give that back. Then you think that is your standard for good music, and you therefore want to do that yourself.
But there's an argument, isn't there, that like people like Elvis Presley, you could never argue that he didn't sing from the heart, but he didn't write a word of that. He never wrote any of his music. He just had a massive team of the best songwriters in the world. But you watch him perform and you feel it, even though he possibly hasn't ever, like that the song about from the ghetto. And you think, well, have you ever been to the ghetto, mate?
Yeah.
But actually,
Does that song give you feels though?
Yeah, no, it totally gives me feels. I love Elvis's voice, and I love listening to him sing. But there's always a part of me that thinks, oh, I don't know if I quite buy it. No,
Yeah.
it is.
Whereas Johnny Cash,
Well, yeah. Then you got Johnny Cash, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other end of the
I
spectrum.
Viva Las Vegas. I think it's a bit like a Brad Pitt film, isn't it, or Leonardo DiCaprio film when they're playing themselves, like millionaire, playboy, good-looking, handsome folk. They're really believable, and I kind of buy into it. When they're sort of playing other things, I don't get it. And it's a bit like with Elvis, it's probably the same. It's not like Viva Las Vegas and all those sort of shaking fun tunes. You're like, yeah, I totally buy into that. Maybe the other one is anyway. Very good question.
What were you going to ask, Steve?
I don't know. Ask it now.
Go on. I want you to.
No, you've embarrassed me with the clever question. I was going to ask. I'm asking the music question. Everyone that comes on, I'm saying, what are you listening to? So, what you're doing lots of. What are you listening to at the moment? What are you enjoying?
not a great deal at the moment because I tend to listen to music usually when I'm driving to and from work. So being furloughed, while I've been at home, I've been trying to write music as opposed to listening to it.
I'll shift the question on to telly then. What are you watching at the moment? There's got to be some telly going. What any recommendations on the telly front?
We tend to binge watch things. I don't watch TV as the terrestrial channels. We'll watch box sets, and we've recently revisited all 3 series of Black Books.
Oh, mate.
Black Books.
Yeah.
Great.
Wonderful telly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's timeless. And Spaced as well. We've started rewatching Spaced as well, and we're currently partway through season 2 of Luke Cage.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, what's Luke Cage?
If it's an offshoot of the Marvel universe.
Okay.
Google it. It's too long, and it's all intertwines with the series of Punisher and Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
Nice.
There will be some people out there that know what I'm on about, but Google it because it's
our blank faces.
It's too huge a universe to explain it.
We've been gripped by I think it's Gangs of London. That's probably not the right title, but it's the Sky One thing, and it is just so gritty. And the physical acts, like it's not like they're any more violent than they would have been 20 years ago, but the stunts that they can pull off to the physical reactions to it are just insane. It's really, really gripping. We're on the last episode. I think we might finish that off after this, to be honest. So.
Yeah,
it's really gripping, but you can't tell us the name.
I think it is Gangs of London, but it's like original Gangs of London or
Okay.
or London Street Fighters. I don't know. It's something about gangs in London
Yeah, it's one of the guys from Peaky Blinders, wasn't he?
Okay.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. It is really, really good.
Actually,
John, anyone's... Oh, go on. Sorry, mate.
Your question where you said Birmingham City or Wolverhampton, did you say Wolverhampton or Wolverhampton Wanderers? Was that a football question, or did you mean it as in City?
Oh, it's a football question, and
Right,
I
okay.
don't know exactly where you're from. So I
well.
was just sort of, and I was stuck for a question. I'll be honest. I was just like, right, he's from that area.
Is that?
It's Baggies.
Oh.
Nice.
That's the problem with up north. Every town's got about 15 decent.
Up north, we're in the middle. It's Middle Earth,
mate. I come from Newbury, mate. That's just north. Up north is like the Winterland in Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Like, so
yes. Someone said that to me when I first moved in. Anything past Gloucester is up north.
yeah, absolutely. I think it says "Welcome to the North" before Birmingham. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it does. Well, listen, we're going to time out in a bit. And I don't know how you feel about going out on a song.
Yeah, can do.
You up for that one? But so I'm first to give I think I just sort of round it off then, and then you sing it, and then we'll just finish at the end of the song. So, firstly, thank you very much to Steve Mercy. You've been absolutely wonderful.
No, thank you very much for inviting me. No, cheers, lads.
Loved having you on. Beautiful singing, lovely stories, lots of good information. And John as well, mate. Thank you, my fellow.
Cheers, mate.
Acoustchats, lots of fun. And we're supposed to be back in 2 weeks, but I might see if we can sort of squeeze in another one because there's a bit of a link into the ISOFest here. So, let's see if we can get back next week.
I think you should definitely get a plug in for the ISOFest before Steve does his song, just for people listening on KTCR.
4th of July. Yeah, well, that's true. It's the ISOFest, 4th of July. Amazing acts, 40 acts over the space of 2 days, possibly even 3. Amazing headliners, Grace Petrie, Till the Stockbroker, and a whole host more. That's just incredible amounts of acts. I'm totally blown away. So yeah, check it out. K-Town ISOFest Facebook group. That's the plug. Thank you everyone for listening. Steve, sing us out, mate. Thank you.
Okay, mate. I'll do something a little more upbeat from the others. She got my picture in a locket that she keeps there in the drawer. It's been there for a while. I forgot my own song. Wear it anymore. I'll start that again, shall I? Got my picture in a locket that she keeps there in the drawer. It's been there for a while. She don't wear it anymore. No longer share our bed. She packed the bags and left. Now she's long gone. She's moving on. So I'm packing up my memories in a box full of regrets. If there's really true love out there, I haven't found it yet. So I crawl across the floor out of another barroom door. I'm too far gone. I'm heading home. Give me a whiskey, give me wine, give me a jukebox and a dime. Tired of wasting all of my sweet time on you. I got beer and cigarettes to help me through all my regrets. You've been lying, I've been crying over you. I'm over you. I'm over you. I'm over you. I'm over you. I kept a picture in my wallet as a memory of the past. Now the wallet still remains. That picture's in the trash. Smashed up my guitar. She took the dog and stole the car, but now she's gone. My life's my own. So I walk into a bar room and a girl I hardly know offers me a bourbon and the conversation grows. Oh Lord, would you believe? Turns out she's just the same as me. Her boyfriend's gone. We're both alone. We got whiskey, we got wine, we got a jukebox and a dime. Tired of wasting all of our sweet time on you. Got beer and cigarettes to help us through all our regrets. We've been lying, we're done crying over you. We're night she turns to me and smiles and she said, boy, same damn thing happens every night. You come in here alone, we get drunk alone, then we walk out of here alone. What do you say tonight? We change things up a little bit and we walk out of here together. She said I got fried chicken thighs and the beer on ice. Got a feeling that tonight is gonna end real nice. Instead of waking up and wishing I was dead, I had an extra pair of boots at the end of my bed. Cheers, that's probably the worst I've ever played that. Maybe should have rehearsed that one.